What did you think as you watched it unfold, and then what happened after?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless, en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd have announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million.
Hello, somebody.
Video is going to be there forever.
That would have been a $2 million slap. Absolutely. The video is going to be around for a long time, Jack. You're going to pay for that.
It's going to be ubiquitous. You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Because they said words, absolutely. Because they said words, and obviously said words that a great majority of the people who were out there listening did not even understand, because people are going on and carrying on as if alopecia is killing Jada Pinkett, and that's not the case at all. It's not.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that. You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate.
There you go.
It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things.
Now, everything that he got, the reason why he got so upset is because something that he is dealing with has absolutely nothing to do with any escalation. It wasn't like they were going back and forth and it just suddenly got to that point. Not at all.
But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun, and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar.
That's right.
It's a gauntlet of devotion that you have to do. And it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
Today, I feel like we have no choice but to discuss the slap heard around the world. Okay, nobody watches the Oscars anymore, but over the weekend, all of that changed when millions of people worldwide began circulating a clip of actor Will Smith jumping on stage to slap the comedian host, Chris Rock, across the face for making a joke about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. The joke was something to the effect that her new low haircut looked like she was looking to be cast in a G.I. Jane sequel. A pretty lighthearted joke by any metric,
so.
but unbeknownst to Chris Rock and also to me, and I'm sure millions of other viewers around the world who are used to seeing Jada with a low haircut, Jada is apparently suffering from a condition known as alopecia, which contributes to balding. Now, here is what's odd about the clip. When Chris Rock first makes the joke, Will laughs, meaning that he takes the joke as it was intended, lightly. But then he looks over and he sees that his wife does not find the joke funny, and he immediately goes from an amused attendee to a thug life husband, defending the honor of his wife's hair.
Thanks for that one. Thug life husband.
So he hops on stage and rather dramatically slaps Chris across the face. Then he returns to his seat and he screams, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth," much to the horror of attendees who were all at once realizing that no. This isn't a joke. He's not kidding around. The internet was understandably outraged by the act of violence, and making things more awkward, Will Smith subsequently won his first Oscar for his performance in the film King Richard. Now, in the aftermath, there have been calls to have the Oscar award rescinded, regarding which the Academy has not yet made an official decision.
Well, in my opinion, they should not have let him go up there on the daggone stage and give a speech, an acceptance speech. Matter of fact, there wouldn't have been an acceptance speech to be given, because you wouldn't have had anything to accept. Because at that point, it would have been taken away from you. I would have given it to her. Hold up. Who came in second place? Yeah. See if they can come up here and say a couple of things.
There have also, of course, been countless internet jokes and memes made at his and Chris Rock's expense. Jesse Waters of Fox News probably said it best when he offered that this is the first time that we have seen the media actually cover black on black crime. But through all of these jokes and the rampant commentary that's being offered, there is a conversation that is being neglected.
Right.
A truer assessment of what we observed on that Oscars stage. For the first time, we saw the real Will Smith. Not a Fresh Prince, not a survivor of a zombie apocalypse in I Am Legend, not a crime-fighting cop in the movie Bad Boys or the Hancock superhero, but the real Will Smith, an incredibly broken man and the residual product of a directionless society that is filled with them.
Wow. The
kind of society that produces men that look to their more domineering wives with their tails planted firmly between their legs for instruction on what and who they ought to be in every room. The truth is that off the big screen, Will Smith has been spiritually annihilated by his wife. Don't forget, it was Jada Pinkett Smith who openly shared with the world how she cheated on her husband, remember? And with who? Her son's friend.
Yep.
Yeah. Jada carried out an extramarital affair with a young man who was at first friends with her son.
That's right.
Then she dragged her puppy dog husband out onto the world stage and told the public while making him sit through it, listen to it, and agree that she had the right to do what she did.
To help boost her brand, which was the Red Table Talk.
During that time, launched into an interaction with August. What do you feel like you were looking for?
I just wanted to feel good. It had been so long since I felt good.
I feel like that husband, like I'm with you at the press conference. I'm that husband, now I gotta be with you at the press conference while you like tell the world about your transgressions. Like, I love my baby. I'm gonna stand by my baby no matter what.
Well, you know, I definitely understand why it would look that way or feel that way, but I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all.
Wait a minute. What? What, lady? What, Jada?
The takeaway from this interview was that they together represented some newer, more progressive form of what it means to be in a marriage, which is to say, not being in a real marriage at all. Will Smith today is someone who should be pitied, not prosecuted in a courtroom or even persecuted in the public eye, but pitied by every person who has the clarity to see how our society, as sponsored by the perversion of these Hollywood types, is falling apart. Will Smith is what Jordan Peterson cautions against. He's nothing more than a casualty in the great war against masculinity.
Go ahead.
G.I. Jane, by the way, for those of you who haven't seen the 1997 movie, tells the story of a woman being integrated into the all-male space of the United States military. It is the inspired tale of the loss of one woman's femininity to meet the grueling physical demands of the more masculine environment that she finds herself in. And so, though perhaps not the punchline that Chris Rock had intended, I have to agree that yes, Jada Pinkett would be the perfect individual to play that role in the remake. And not because of her hair, obviously, but because of her success in stripping her husband of any trace understanding of what it means to be a real man.
Oh my God, mic drop. What in the world, Candace? You are going hard, sis. God gracious, you are going hard. Even my chair agrees. Listen to this. God, she going hard. Keep going.
And let me tell you, Will, it isn't slapping a man across the face because your wife tells you to. I'm sorry to say that real manhood is not won on a stage at the Oscars with a meaningless trophy.
Go ahead, Sam.
Rather, real manhood begins and ends in your own household. It starts with the first step of being able to accurately identify what a good man, what a good woman, and what a good, meaningful relationship even is.
Yeah.
And with that, we wish you luck, Will, on your real-life pursuit of happiness.
Oh, my God. On your real-life pursuit of happiness. I think up until this point, Candace Owens probably covered it the best. She didn't throw any shots too many shots at him. She was just pointing out the obvious. But when I saw the entire thing play out, and then I started doing my own reactions to him and getting deeper and deeper into him, I saw what Joe Rogan felt about it. I also agree with Joe Rogan. What Jim Carrey said, 1,000%, that would have been a $2 million slap. You slap me. Slap, come on, woo, do it again. That's 400 million. Give me that money. You're gonna embarrass me like that? Have this video out here for do you know how viral this is? This is crazy. This video is literally changing content creators' lives right now. All because Chris Rock took a shot to the face that he did not deserve. Now the thing is, Chris Rock actually told a good friend of his, Kevin Hart, that he wasn't even making the joke simply because she was bald-headed. He was actually comparing her to Demi Moore in G.I. Jane, but that's only because when Demi Moore did that movie and she came to one of the award shows, I don't know if it was the Oscars, but she also, Demi Moore, you know how beautiful she is, being a supermodel and superstar and everything. She was also bald-headed, but she was in a gown and she looked elegant. She looked eloquent, or whatever the word is. She looked nice. She looked really nice. But he pointed that out. He was showing her some love, but he was also just taking a little jab at her as well. Was it a tasteful joke? Probably not. But it's not like comedians know everything about everyone in their audience before they start doing their jokes. But it's also not like you don't know that the likelihood of you getting roasted at a large, super large event, something as big as the Academy Awards, and you're sitting in the front row and you're being honored that evening, 9 times out of 10, something will be said about you. But you came there to have a good time and celebrate your husband, Jada. That's exactly what you should have done. Had a good time. And Will Smith, man, bruh, I don't know what to say. There are people that are defending Will Smith online, saying that he defended his woman. No, specifically, he defended his black woman, his black queen. Nah, bruh. You went out like a simp. You went out like a joke. And anybody who praised you for that, hopefully is not a man. Because if he does, he's no man at all. Now, I know there are people who are saying people get slapped every day, B. It's no big deal. Well, those people don't understand how much this is going to affect somebody's life right now. It already is. So, bruh, you played too much into your emotions. You played yourself. You look like a sucker for what you did. And hopefully your wife was nowhere near proud of you. When you sat down with her at the red table talk, she looked at her husband in her face and said, I needed to feel good. That's why I slept with that boy, August Alsina, my son's friend, who was also dealing with mental issues as well, who was also only in that predicament because he used to talk to Jada. He used to dump everything that was going on with him, his mental issues, on Jada. So the likelihood of people actually did say that she was taking advantage of that young man. But even still, it happened. And you sat across from your husband and told your husband that you needed to feel good. You haven't felt good in a while. And then when he joked and acted as if he was standing beside you at a press conference and while you stood firm to your transgressions, you let him know it wasn't a transgression. It was what it was. It was good, and I'm happy it happened. That's cold-hearted. It's cold-hearted. Nothing about this should be celebrated at all. Candace Owens did a great job breaking this down. That's pretty much all I had, man. Love y'all. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more. Love y'all.